There is nothing more terrifying.
Alright guys, firstly, Elden Ring Shadow of Erdtree, as From Software has actually reported, is the largest expansion ever made. That's right, Elden Ring has a DLC campaign in the making since the game's original release, and it's now finally happening on June 21st this year. I mean, this DLC takes place in a brand new area of a brand new map. We got a, fairly decent, long and detailed new gameplay trailer for it. This thing is coming to PCs and all the previously released consoles as well.
They were never saints. They just happened to be on the losing side of a war.
Where yon the veil did I chance to see you.
Warframe developers' new game, the first came across like last year, went on and now finally received some gameplay footage. I mean, there's over 30 minutes of it. Some of you already know what developers promised, but to those of you new, this is a open-world, free-to-play MMORPG action hybrid revolving around themes of climate change and environmental destruction. It's all promising stuff, well worth a watch if you ask me if you're curious and just want to delve a little deeper. A release date for this thing, however, is yet to be announced.
So come gather motes of living worlds. Come gather arms against old and herd.
Finally, I found you. Trampled by the one you trusted. Abandoned from your king.
Nexon, the famous Korean developers, last month came up with the announcement of a new single-player action RPG from the Dungeon and Fighter universe called The First Berserker Kaizen. I mean, what developers promised to this time make a shift in the DNF's old school brawl format into a dark hack-and-slash combat and plenty of customization. Now the company's new work is coming to PCs in the next generation of consoles in 2025, and this is how it looks.
Have to risk your life.
Coming from an Italian studio, we have another Souls-like, action RPG coming out no longer at the end of the year. In fact, we just got a precise release date of August 21st, 2024, coming to PCs and next generation of consoles only, the game Inatra, The Last Song. Now for those of you who missed it, Inatra takes place in a world based on the Italian culture and adds a little bit of a shift into the old Souls-like formula by making this whole thing a choice-driven game in nature.
Driver, what news from Rhymeholm? So, it is as I feared.
Coming to PCs, Switch, and other consoles on May 23 at number 5, we've got a remastered version of the old Morbid game now called The Lords of Ire. Now, this is a Souls-like hack and slash inspired by the Bloodborne games. Morbid, the Lord of Fire, is actually described as an isometric Souls-like action RPG now reworked graphics, mechanics, and even delivering new content.
Once, you've met humans. In the last city of humanity.
First off, AI Limits, which was announced more than like 6 years ago, not to mention is now a Sony Interactive original game, is now coming to PCs and the PlayStation 5 exclusively within 2024. Finally. Now the game of talking over here, in case you're new to it, is an action RPG that used to be a part of the second wave of PlayStation China Hero project. Whatever the reason was to keep it a secret so far, the game is now finally coming out within 2024.
They control the rules in Heaven's Hall, and humans are just sheep to be slaughtered.
Where there's war, there are profits. It's best if you both sides suffer heavy losses.
We are the same. Seeking after far-fetched goals with crippled memories. However, I'm just a feeble scholar, while you possess power.
Nixon, the same Korean developers of the Blue Archive, a bunch of other games, a ton of them, mostly mobile games however, they have a new project in the making too, made with the use of Unreal Engine 5, going by the name Vindictus, Defying Fate. This was announced a week ago. The game is an action RPG hack and slasher that shares the same universe with the MMORPG game Vindictus itself, but coming to the next generation of consoles additionally by the end of 2024. Check it out, the beta will take place for this one, we hear soon.
哦，这里我要稍微提醒一下，这是个非常阴险的敌人。接下来你要往前走的时候，一定要注意右侧，他会从右侧发动攻击。你可以慢慢。
Coming as one of the big 3 China Hero projects, like Lost Soul aside, a bunch of other games that we just mentioned, we have another Souls-like action RPG in the making, although this was just revealed again through a Chinese showcase. Well, a game called Daba, Land of Water Scar. It's a weird name indeed. It tells the story of a humanoid clay puppet set on a period where the world is on the verge of collapse. There's a lot more premise where the story comes from. It's now coming to PCs and all consoles sometime later, possibly this year.
给敌人造成很大的硬直，但是也是有效的。
但是可以非常好的防卫自己。
是的。好，使出快速拔刀，哇，就差一点点。
所以是在它红色光亮。
Give it to me and just die, fragile knight.
Moving on to number 9, we've got the new work of the team who made many pieces of Mr. Coup. This is an entirely different approach, an actual brand new Souls-like third-person action RPG halfway inspired by the Dark Souls, a little bit of Bloodborne, although it revolves around the story of a man named Arion who is linked to the most famous and legendary sword of all time, well you all know it, the Excalibur. This game is coming to PCs and the PlayStation 5 only within 2024, possibly late.
Conquer your fear or die trying. Add it now to your wish list and prepare.
One-handed weapons and shields are specialized for integrated offense and defense, offering balanced gameplay.
Number 10. We've got an update on the Relic First Guardian, about 5-6 more minutes of gameplay. In the word that the game is now coming out of PCs and the next generation of consoles in the first few months of 2024. Relic the First Guardian is an action RPG adventure where you play as this hero on a journey to save the world as its last guardian. Here's how it looks.
Daggers enable rapid consecutive attacks, emphasizing agility. Players can skillfully dodge an attack, leading the combat flow. Battle staffs equipped with long reach employ gravity magic. While their attack speed is slow, each successful hit reduces the cooldown of skills.
Dungeon Stalkers launches for early access on PCs in the first half of 2024 too, and it's right now playable through a demo on Steam as well, in case you missed it. This is a free-to-play dungeon crawler in nature where players in teams of up to 3 stalkers enter dungeons with up to 5 enemy teams and loot just one another. This is how it looks. At number 12, I believe it's the first time it's getting mentioned since its reveal of the year. We've got a pretty much Dark Souls style action RPG here. I actually had to go a little deep to find an update on this one since there's only a Twitter page for it. A game called Dungeons Deep. Though it's a nice addition to the list because it's got potential and actually not bad looking, specifically the lighting effects. Anyway, this game is now coming to PCs exclusively, possibly by the end of the year. Deathbound, on the other hand, was aired last year, and ever since it's been taking a lot of attention on the internet. Now, this game, if you missed out on, is another action RPG hack and slasher. It's not Diablo, since it's not a top-down in gameplay, but a third-person player. Here's how it looks. In fact, there's another trailer for it. Publishers just came up. By the way, this is the same publishers who brought Kawa games around again in Remake. Anyway, this thing is coming out within 2024 as well.
You have seen the chaos with your own eyes.
Number 14, we have a first-time mentioner over here, an open-world spellcasting action RPG, as developers describe, going by the name Codex Lost. It's basically Elden Ring, but the core gameplay revolves around casting and mixing spells. You can craft up to 80 unique spells and combine them with various talismans, and just equip them to make a specific build for specific enemies, and mostly boss fights. This game is coming to PCs later this year. We just got a new trailer for it too. Check it out. Announced earlier this month, last but not least, we've got Somber Echoes. One of the shocking announcements we came across since 2024, since it's the new work of the same team who made Moons of Madness, and second of all, it's an even better looking game than any other Metroidvania we witnessed for years. I mean, even Ubisoft's new Prince of Persia. This is a 2.5-dimensional Metroidvania Souls-like, set 3 years into the future, not to mention it's actually being built with the use of Unreal Engine 5. Thanks for watching.